A long time ago, there was a farmer who faced constant difficulties in growing his crops. Every time he planted them, something went wrong. Sometimes heavy rain would ruin his fields, sometimes the scorching sun would dry out the soil, and at other times, extreme cold would prevent the crops from growing properly. No matter how hard he worked, his harvest never turned out the way he wanted. The farmer was deeply frustrated. He started to believe that God was responsible for all his problems. One day, completely fed up, he looked up at the sky and began to complain. "God, you don't know anything about farming. You make it rain at the wrong time, you bring out the sun when it's not needed, and sometimes you let the cold destroy everything. Because of you, my crops fail every year." Just then, something miraculous happened. God appeared before the farmer. With a gentle smile, God listened to his complaints patiently. The farmer, still angry, said, "If only I had control over the weather, I would make sure that my crops grew perfectly. You should let me decide when it should rain, when the sun should shine, and when the wind should blow. Then I will have the best harvest ever." God thought for a moment and then replied, "All right, from now on, the weather will be exactly as you wish. You will have complete control over it." And with that, God disappeared. The farmer's experiment with the weather. The farmer was overjoyed. He immediately started preparing his fields for the next crop. This time, whenever he wanted rain, it rained. Whenever he needed sunshine, the sun shone brightly. There were no strong winds, no unexpected storms, no extreme heat, and no biting cold. Everything was perfect, just as he had planned. Days passed, and soon, the farmer's fields were lush green. The plants grew tall, their leaves shone under the sunlight, and the entire farm looked beautiful. The farmer felt proud of himself. "See, I knew it. I knew that if I controlled the weather, my crops would be the best they have ever been," he thought to himself. Finally, the harvest season arrived. The farmer eagerly went to his fields, expecting to see golden grains ready to be collected. But as he started cutting the crops, he noticed something strange. The heads of the plants, which should have been full of grains, were empty. The crops were hollow. There were no grains inside them. The farmer was shocked. How could this happen? The weather had been perfect. There had been no storms, no harsh winds, and no extreme temperatures. He had given the crops everything they needed. So why was the harvest ruined? The farmer learns a valuable lesson. Confused and disappointed, the farmer once again called out to God. "God, what happened? Why is my crop empty? I did everything right. I gave it perfect weather, exactly as I wanted." God appeared again and said, "My dear farmer, you removed all the struggles from your crops. They never had to face strong winds, heavy rain, or extreme sunlight. They never had to fight to survive. And because of that, they never developed the strength they needed to produce grains." God continued, "Just like gold needs fire to shine, crops need challenges to grow strong. When plants struggle against the forces of nature, they build resistance, they grow deeper roots, and they become capable of producing food. Without struggle, there is no strength. Without hardship, there is no growth." The farmer finally understood his mistake. He realized that difficulties and obstacles were not curses but essential parts of life. They helped living beings grow stronger, just as they helped crops develop grains. The moral of the story: this story teaches us a very important lesson: struggles are necessary for growth. Just like the farmer's crops needed challenges to become strong, we, too, need difficulties in life to develop our potential. If life were always easy and comfortable, we would never discover how strong, intelligent, or capable we truly are. Every hardship we face teaches us something valuable. When we go through tough times, we become wiser, more patient, and more resilient. Just like a tree that grows deeper roots in strong winds, we, too, become stronger when we face challenges. Applying this lesson to our lives, in life, we often wish that everything could be easy. We hope that we never have to struggle, that we never have to face problems, and that everything should go exactly as we want. But if that were the case, we would never grow as individuals. Think about the most successful people in the world. None of them got where they are without facing difficulties. Every great leader, every scientist, every artist, and every successful person has faced failures, challenges, and struggles. But instead of giving up, they learned from their struggles and became stronger. When a student studies for exams, the hard work and stress might feel exhausting, but in the end, it makes them more knowledgeable and prepared for the future. When an athlete trains, the pain and exhaustion might be difficult, but it helps them build strength and endurance. When someone starts a new business, they face obstacles and failures, but these experiences teach them valuable lessons about success. If life were always easy, we would never learn these lessons. We would never develop the courage to stand up after falling, the patience to keep trying, or the wisdom to make better decisions. The importance of resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from hardships. Just like the crops in the story needed to struggle to grow properly, we, too, need to face difficulties to build resilience. Imagine a butterfly coming out of its cocoon. If someone tries to help by breaking the cocoon open for it, the butterfly will never develop strong wings. It needs to struggle and push its way out on its own so that its wings become strong enough to fly. Similarly, when children are protected from every small difficulty, they may grow up without learning how to handle challenges. If parents do everything for their children, they might not learn how to solve problems on their own. Struggles and failures teach us to be independent and strong. Conclusion. The story of the farmer teaches us that hardships are not punishments but opportunities for growth. Every problem we face in life makes us stronger, wiser, and more capable. Instead of fearing difficulties, we should embrace them. Every struggle we overcome is like a stepping stone to success. Just like crops need wind, rain, and sun to grow strong, we, too, need challenges to reach our full potential. So, the next time life presents you with a difficulty, remember this story. Instead of complaining, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this challenge make me stronger? Because in the end, it is not the easy moments but the struggles that shape us into the best versions of ourselves.